Hey folks, how you doing? Bob and Joe here. Again. I did one of my little rants. It was for the trucking industry. And now you're gonna get another one for the political rants. I have people that often question me about why I'm always talking smack about the Democratic Party. Now I'm here to tell you that both parties are so much alike, it's pitiful. However, something about the Democrat Party that just eats me up is their anger. That ain't saying the Republican Party ain't angry, but at least they don't show it. They don't advocate it. They don't try to get other people angry. And, well, I shouldn't say that. They try to get, we know the game. However, they don't try to provoke people into violence, is what I should be saying. Right after President Trump got elected, we had several Democrats that openly encouraged people to harass Trump supporters, harass Trump employees, and all kinds of silly stuff. That ain't right. They've encouraged people to disobey the police, attack the police, and other silly stuff. Wow, really? Their latest great disservice to our country is all this witch hunting against the president. Now, I'm here to tell you, if the president does something wrong, then by all means he needs to be held accountable. But some of the stuff that we seen President Obama do that he got by with, and not a word was said, which was openly a slap in the American's face, including bowing down to some sand king over there and apologizing for our country, claiming we're not a Christian nation, sneaking money into an airplane in the middle of the night, going to bed when he knew that our people were being attacked and begging for help. But yet they're worried about a phone call that President Trump was on. Now that only came to after they couldn't prove anything about the Russian nonsense. My point is, if they would spend half as much energy, money, and time trying to work with the president, we might actually get something done. But instead of trying to take care of our country and our people, they're worried about the last election, and we're almost on top of our next election. Their campaign about resist at all costs, they met. The cities that are under Democrat control, local control, but still, they was stupid enough to vote in Democrats to run their cities, are some of the worst cities in the country. Point blank, no sugar added. And yet, none of the local Democrats that are in charge or the national Democrats in D.C., they won't even work together to better their voting base. That's their voting base. They won't even help their own people. But yet come election time, and here within the next few months, if they're not already there, they're going to send in a bunch of people to make sure that they still have their vote. What's wrong with this picture? The sad part of it is these people that are stuck in these democratic cities, this Democrat-controlled world, they won't even vote them out. Why? I don't understand that. It's obvious to see when your elected idiots are not helping you on a local level, on a state level, or on a federal level. If they're not helping you, why would you keep voting for them? If the only time you hear from them is when they want your vote, why would you keep voting them in? If you can't see they're doing something to better your community, your lives, your livelihood, your family, why would you keep voting them in? President Trump, during his election, he went to a Democratic area, spoke at a church, got the preacher in a lot of trouble, spoke at the church, and he asked them point blank, what have you got to lose voting for me? The one that you have voted for has not helped you. What have you got to lose? There's no way I can make it worse. Though that ain't verbatim, but pretty damn close. I added the last little bit. Now, I do have some Democratic people on here. I have one that admitted on the phone call that that's what he's been all his life. But in the last few years, he's been opening his eyes. Good on you. He admitted he voted for Trump because he couldn't vote for Hillary. Good on you. She's a traitor to our country. And I feel that most of the Democrats are. Other one came on and made a comment the other night on one of my videos and said that Bernie Sanders and John McCain are the only two he respected. I totally disagree with him. I can't respect him, but that's not saying that he can't. And I told him, thank you for sharing your thoughts, and thank you for voting and being aware of politics. At least he's aware. He's thinking about it. Maybe he'll watch a few of my videos and start checking out a little bit of the real world and change his mind about what he's doing. Maybe. Don't know, but maybe. But at least he's paying attention. He might still have the blinders on. He might still be drinking the Kool-Aid. But he was vocal about it. He was nice about it. He wasn't rude. He wasn't mean, like we're so used to out of a lot of Democrats. I assume it was a he. I forget what their name was. But if that hand's watching this video tonight, think about what I've said here. What has the Democratic Party actually done for you? What has the Democratic Party actually done for your neighborhood, your city, your state, your country? What have they done in almost the last 3 years since President Trump got elected? Other than spend all kinds of man hours and billions of dollars trying to overthrow the last election. Really? Sinuses or drainage anyway. The last few days. You know, voter fraud has been proven. That there was voter fraud in the last election. And the couple elections before that. It's been proven. And of course, the only ones that's gone down for it are the small guys. There was a college kid that he got 3 years or something. It wasn't real bad, but he got slapped for doing voter fraud for the Democrat Party. Really. There's been other cases where voter fraud was found on the Democratic Party. Up in Chicago area was the worst. And what brought that to light was a woman seen where her daddy got up out of the grave and voted Democrat. And he was a registered Republican. Really? She got upset. That brought a little bit of light to that. I guess what it boils down to is growing up, I was always forced to accept, do as I say, not as I do. And that just drove me crazy. I refused to raise my kids under that. But yet here we have the government, both parties. The Democrats are worse than the Republicans. Do as I say, not as I do. I just covered it in my last rant about how they make all these laws that they don't have to obey, but you and I do. Well, this whole nonsense with the Democrat Party wanting to force upon us what they think is right, sexual harassment. Both parties again now. But yet they have a taxpayer fund to bail them out. Now recently, my understanding is they did some kind of a vote to do away with that. But it was still happening until it was brought out in the light. Really. Both parties are dirty, people. I'll tell you once again, I'm not a Democrat and I'm not a Republican. I'm a pissed off American. And we need more pissed off Americans. We need more people that are not loyal to a party, but is loyal to the country. We need people that will speak out and speak the truth. Call a sin, call wrong, wrong. Period. Now, I told somebody just today, we started talking just a little bit of politics. He tries not to get me too fired up. Told him today. He said he made mention that he liked Trump. Thought Trump was doing good. Said there was things about him he didn't like I've said. Said we'll probably never be best friends. Once again, I said the same thing. He said, but I do think he's trying to help our country. I totally agree. And we both agreed that if he could have got some help from both parties, we could fix a lot of problems in our country. But up there, they are so busy trying to get you and I to decide between the smallest differences between the two parties. They're so busy trying to protect their job. They're so busy trying to keep you and I in the dark that they're not worried about our country. Neither party. If you've been in the office since before computers, you need out. If you've been in up there more than 12 years, you need out. And this nonsense about, well, you're new, you don't understand how things work. Really? There's a few positions up there that's normally assigned that should have some experience. The rest of it, you should be able to learn as you go. That's how it was set up. It's modern politics in the last 50 to 100 years that has made stuff so complicated. It's when we got from having the average Joe go up there to work and serve his country, and we started electing lawyers and professional politicians. They're the ones that started making all these laws that you and I can't understand that will benefit them when they get out. They've tried to make it so complicated that the average Joe don't understand. That's wrong. That is the reason we need you out of there. We need more average Joes. And no, I can't run. I've been a bad boy in my life. They can't find most of it. But you know, once you start running, they start digging with a backhoe. Not a shovel, a backhoe. They want to find out what they can find out. I was a bad boy. So they wouldn't want me in there. And besides that, I'm honest. And with a no sugar added attitude, they already got one of those for a president and found out that it ain't doing good for them. They don't want me up there. And I ain't got the money. But we need more average people up there. We really do. So you tell me, what am I wrong about? What have I got the blinders on and I'm drinking the Kool-Aid? If you're a supporter of the Democratic Party, tell me, what have they done in the last 12 years? I'll make it easy on you. That goes all the way back to when Obama was in. So what has the Democratic Party really done on any level, especially for our country? The only thing I've seen they've done is try to stop the president from doing anything good. And it doesn't matter if he sent out a tweet tomorrow and said the sun was out, they would want to argue with him. they'd call him wrong. He would be a moon hater. You know? It's ridiculous. Kind of like all these trucks parking there blocking us in. It's ridiculous. Warner here is blocking the driveway. It's ridiculous. But with that, I'm going to go get me a cup of ice. Call Grandma. Tell her good night. Then I might do a live stream. I ain't decided. But I'm leaning towards it. So I might see you here in a little bit. Y'all remember, God loves you. So do I. Y'all have a blessed day now. Bye.